Welcome back to Top Gaming Setup, everyone. You're at the perfect place if you're all about cutting-edge gaming gear, practical reviews, and frank opinions on the newest hardware. We'll be delving further into the Nintendo Switch 2 today. I've got the complete rundown after using this hybrid console for weeks in the real world, including the highs and lows. I've used this device everywhere over the past few weeks, including on trains, airplanes, hotels, cozy bedtimes, and more. I've been testing it in every real-life situation that you'd actually use a handheld console in. After all of that, I believe I now know what makes the Switch 2 such an amazing technological advancement, and where it still has some obstacles to overcome. Let's get started. The actual unwrapping process seems more like a development than a radical change from the initial Switch. Although the shape and design are familiar, everything seems a bit tighter, smarter, and more sophisticated. Everything feels more deliberate, including the revamped Joy-Cons, the magnetic charging method, and the new dock. This is still a Nintendo system, I realized after docking it and setting it up on my home projector. And that brings with it a unique identity, lively, fun, approachable, etc. And no, it's not designed to visually astound you. I will return to that though. Let's discuss its strong points. The Joy-Con 2s are unquestionably better. Better build quality, more responsive buttons, and a new mouse mode that is surprisingly not a gimmick are all features. Even though not all games employ it yet, it actually improves your ability to operate or navigate in some games. Are they flawless though? Not exactly. I still find the joysticks to be a little too stubby, and if you prefer precise aim, like in a shooter, you may still find yourself using the gyro controls a lot. And regrettably, joystick drift is still a phantom. According to reports, the same technology that made the original Switch so problematic is still involved in this situation. So let's hope for longevity. Is there anything that I didn't anticipate loving as much as I did? The speakers. The stereo separation is surprisingly good for a small gadget. I had to confirm several times that the sound wasn't coming from my real sound system. That's how immersive it is. Overall, the build feels sturdy and is a pleasant blend of high-end and playful. It's a pleasure to utilize the triggers in particular, especially the delightful release triggers for sliding out the controllers. To be honest, I've noticed that I keep removing and reattaching them arbitrarily. It's practically healing. This is the point at which the Switch 2 really shines. You truly begin to understand the beauty of what Nintendo has accomplished when you're having it in your hands, whether you're curled up on the couch, in bed, or on your commute. Think about Cyberpunk 2077. The entire game, complete with neon lights, a large city, and congested streets, is played on a device roughly the thickness of a phone with a case. That's crazy. I didn't have to adjust 20 different graphics settings to get it to play, and there isn't any annoying heat or whirling fan noise. You're operating at a somewhat lesser resolution on a portable device than on a docked one, so it's not perfect, but the visual fidelity, the smoothness, and the fact that all the same visual effects are there? In a portable format, that is a tremendous accomplishment. You can work on big games in short bursts with this kind of experience. Playing for an hour while someone else watches television, completing a mission while on lunch, drinking tea in bed while completing side tasks. It's liberty. The Switch 2 is the smoothest travel console I've ever used, and I've taken it on the road. Layovers at the airport become gaming sessions. Downtime in hotels is turned into a chance to discover other worlds. It also fits into almost any bag without making you feel like you're carrying an entire entertainment system, because it's so light and tiny. But what about battery life? It's rather a mixed bag. I was only getting about 3 hours out of a hard game like Cyberpunk before I needed to recharge. Compared to the previous Switch OLED, which occasionally lasted longer than 5 hours, it isn't that impressive. However, compared to other portable gaming gadgets that can hardly last 90 minutes on a full charge, this one is far superior. It's a bit of a tightrope walk then. If you're going to be gaming for a long time, it's still ideal to have a power source close by. Among the greatest benefits, this device has faster load times and improved overall performance, and it can play not just new games, but the whole library of the original Switch. Games that stutter and chug now feel silky smooth. For example, Pokémon Violet and Scarlet feel much more playable here. Additionally, the big Zelda titles' restored versions are exquisitely finished. However, the selection of brand new Switch 2 exclusives is good right now. Playing Mario Kart World alone won't keep you up at night, but it's a lot of fun in a group, especially with the new Knockout mode. Mario Party Switch 2? Solid yet party-oriented is the same tale. The truly game-changing apps are still on the horizon, but when they do, the next Smash, the next Pokémon, or perhaps even a new Metroid, this console will seem indispensable. The Switch 2's greatest strength is its ability to fit into your life. The opposite is not true. Hours of playtime are not necessary. It's not necessary to organize your entire evening around it. You can play on an exercise bike while waiting for dinner to cook, or while watching TV with your significant other. This console is designed to blend seamlessly, organically, and nearly undetectable into your time, rather than take over it. Its superpower is that. Based on my observations, it appears that developers are truly enthusiastic about the Switch 2. We should third-party support in the future, because porting games over doesn't seem to be nearly as difficult as it was on the original Switch. And that changes everything. Because the Switch 2 might become the preferred platform for hybrid gaming once developers begin to see this console as a serious destination for their biggest titles, with the added benefit of handheld play. Here are the bottom line. Wait if you're holding off on buying till that one game comes out. When you know it will enhance your collection, it makes sense to purchase it. This is an excellent piece of hardware if you enjoy handheld gaming, travel frequently, or simply want a more versatile gaming experience. Additionally, are you already well versed in the Nintendo ecosystem? This seems like a logical next move. No, it's not flawless. However, it's well made, useful, and most importantly, enjoyable. Rather than the other way around, it seems to be a gadget that respects your time and adjusts to your lifestyle. For me then, the Switch 2 is a companion as well as a console, and I'm eager to see where it will go from here. That concludes my practical evaluation of the Nintendo Switch 2, which was tested in the real world. If this video was helpful to you, please leave a comment below, press the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Which game would entice you to get a Switch 2 at last? Stay tuned for our next epic setup trips and more in-depth reviews. Till next time.